I've been reading about ancient Egypt, and I'm now going to make a picture in 2 paint about the Egyptians, or in particular about their pyramids. I'm going to draw a picture of an ancient Egyptian pyramid. And the first thing I'd like to do is fill this white in with blue, because the first thing I'm going to make is the sky. So scrolling through these colours, I'm going to pick this light blue here, and I could just scribble in, but it would take me forever. So I'm going to undo that, and the quickest and easiest way of filling in a space with colour is using this tool here, which is called the fill tool, or it's also called the paint bucket tool, because often you see it represented as a paint bucket. So I've selected that, and you can see it's going to be much easier. I just click on that, and voila, we've got some blue, which is fantastic, exactly what I want. So that's the beginnings of my sky. The next thing I want is this yellow here, because in this corner I'd like to put a sun. So selecting this circle here, and you've got 2 types of circle. This is an outline of a circle, and this is a filled in circle. That's the same with the square as well. So using the filled in circle, I'm going to click and drag my yellow sun over there. Fantastic. Now I want a really thin brush, so I'm going to change the size of the brush by doing that, just bringing that right to the bottom, and I'm going to use the line tool, and with this line tool I'm going to make some very quick sun rays. So I'm going to go just like that, making a few sun rays. That's great. And the last thing I want in my sky is I want to find a white and make some clouds. And I'm going to do that using one of these texture brushes. All of these 4 brushes at the end are texture brushes. And I want this one, which is the cloud brush. And I'm going to make sure it's a nice big brush and make a cloud. Okay, so there are my clouds, and I've got a sky now. So the next thing to add to my picture is a ground. So to do that, I'm going to use the filled in square and look for an orange, and there we go, there's the orange. And so clicking on the corner here and just dragging it out right after, there we go. Let's do that one more time. Clicking in the corner here and dragging out, and there we go. Here's the ground. So the next thing I'd like to do might seem a bit strange to begin with, but I'm going to make a shadow on the ground, and then I'll put my pyramid on top of that. So it's building it up step by step. And the colour I'd like to choose for my shadow is purple, because I know that I've got a lot of yellows in the ground, or yellow in the sky, and my pyramid is going to be orange and yellow, and the opposite colour to yellow in the colour wheel is purple. And that's a trick a lot of artists, lots of famous artists use when making their paintings. They have colours in the shadows which are opposite to the main colours that they're using. So I'm going to now use this line tool and make it probably just almost in the middle, but not quite. And I'll bring it out here. Ooh, actually, I might make it really thin. That's probably easiest. Bring it out here. And up there like that. And so I've made a triangle, and I've got a space there, and I'll show you what will happen if I try, because I want to fill this. If I got this space, I fill the whole lot in, and that's not good. So I'm going to make sure I've filled in all the spaces. Hopefully I filled that space in. Yay, I did. Phew. Okay, we're in action. So I've got a shadow on the ground, and I know you're probably thinking it looks a bit strange, but hopefully it will make sense. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I've selected the orange, and I'm going to use this line tool again, and this time I definitely want it a little thicker, and I'm going to make my pyramid like so. And then I'm going to fill these in like so, and then the last bit, do the same for the other side. So bring that along there, and I'm choosing this yellow on this side because that's where the sun is coming from. And just fill those in like that. And I just want to put a little bit more shadow in there because I think I could do with some more. So I'm going to make that really thin again because that worked for us before. And okay, brilliant. Okay, so there I have my ancient Egyptian pyramid, and have a go yourself.